Hello everyone, ZMiner99 and welcome back for another live stream. Today we're on FooCraft. We're going to be doing some mining. Hey Wild, welcome to the stream. Yeah, I did. That's totally expected thing. So, yeah, thanks for the heads up though. I did though. Oh, got stuck in a door, almost. Oh, need a few more of those if we're going to be mining today. We're going to be mining in the overworld instead of in the nether. So, torches stuff is in here. Yeah, might as well make it all. Should probably turn this stuff into items. May not be doing a little bit of mining. You're welcome, Wild. That'll be okay. That'll be a start. We'll need to come back and get more later. But it's all good. So. The only one on survival. That is a change. I saw 4 people on. That they're somewhere on the server, then I'm the only one here. But that's fine. That means more computing resources for me, right? Server-side computing for me. This is going to be quite a lot of blocks and stuffs. Okay, torches won't be in the offhand because that will get annoying. This is what happens whenever I end up mining with the Silk Touch pick. I just procrastinate and wait to turn the blocks into what they actually are. And then I get a lot of them built up over time, and it becomes an issue. Oh, that was all the coal? Amazing. Okay. That means I had about as much coal ore as I did redstone ore. And I definitely do not need this much redstone. It's a good thing I only have 6 diamond ore, because I just realized that someone's probably going to be getting a message every time that I mine one of those. I mean, I could just run around and get the rest of the diamonds too that are on the floor already. And probably mining this with the Silk Touch pick would not do me any favors, would it? That would kind of be counterintuitive to the reason that I placed all of this down again. I will say that it is very nice to not have homework assignments that take me ages to complete anymore. This is the end of my first week without having my numerical optimization class, and it's pretty nice. Get a lot of XP from doing this. It's nice to be able to repair the pickaxes pretty much all the way. Now granted, I didn't get all of this from just the little bit of usage that I had on the one Silk Touch pick yet. So I got more. I had repaired both my picks between collecting some of this and now, so. However, in the Nether, if you're mining in the Nether, you can actually get enough XP to not have to ever take your pickaxe to get it repaired, if you mine right. If you're smart, you can do it. And I guess there's probably a little bit of luck involved with it, but there. Have to have them arranged properly, you know. I got an emerald as well, and 500 more monies. I am guessing they're goofing off on another server or somewhere that isn't here. Okay. Alright, so anyways, should probably say a little bit of about what we're trying to do here. Down here, you should drink. Apparently, according to Stream Elements, I should drink. Hi, Gummy. Welcome. How are you doing today? Hope you're doing all right. Know you're in voice, but what we're doing is I don't know if there's a slime farm on the server yet. There's no shop selling it, I don't think. And there's as that being the case, we can have a little bit of a profit. There's a market opportunity to be taken advantage of. Gap in the market. There it is. Gap in the market, as it's called. Which I'm trying to fill. And I'm doing this the old school way, where you don't need the seed to figure out where the slime chunks are. You just need to mine out a gigantic area underground. I'm doing quite well, Gummy. It's good to hear you're doing well as well. Yeah. So, Yep, this is something which I did accidentally on another server. I almost like I was trying to build like a big underground base at this Y level at 11/12, and it well, it turned into a giant slime farm. There's an area that was past render distance, which was set at 8, so like more than 8 chunks in each direction, and there were slime chunks like everywhere under there, everywhere. So yeah, took me a lot of time to dig that out, especially since a decent portion of the first part was done with the iron pick. So yeah. I am happy that I figured out that mending was a thing. That was the project where I figured out mending was a thing, and I was like, ooh, very helpful. Very helpful. Or else it would not have been a very good thing for just trying to like figure out how the resource balance would work for using diamond pickaxes under there. So, especially because I was doing it 3 blocks tall, which it's possible. Let me check something really quick. Let's go. Wrong tab. And let's look at Google and let's see. Not bounding box. Spawn rules for slimes. Okay. I want to make sure that it doesn't have to be a 3 tall space and that they can spawn in a 2 tall. Can spawn in slime chunks. Big slimes require 3x2, 5x3. Medium slimes require, I think that's 3x2x3. Okay, so they can spawn in here. There's some that can. The large ones I don't think would be able to, but the medium and small ones can. So we will be able to detect slime chunks whenever they come up. That's a good thing to check. I should have checked that at first to make sure, but yeah. So if you see any slimes down here, let me know as we're down here. Because aside from getting resources that I don't need, that's what we're down here for. Really, I don't need to make a shop for it either, but it would probably be beneficial to some other people on the server if I did. So, if there was a source of slime that people could just go to, so. That was some rubber banding right there. First time today, think for that. I know hostile mobs can spawn like 2 chunks away from where I'm at, so I know that there is the possibility. This sword is not as good as the one I have on my other server. If I can spell, hey, gummy. Instead of H-Y-E. He. I don't know. Thought that was a little bit of graphical error down there in the lower left, but nope, that's because I already had a tunnel down there. Try to maneuver my way around the little gaps from the branch mining. If you're wondering why they're a block lower, it's because I accidentally made the staircase at Y level. Like, I ended this staircase and started mining at Y level 12 instead of 11 like I normally do. So this is at Y level 12 because I am mildly OCD, and if you notice, the chunk boundaries line up perfectly with the floor and ceiling. The 2 block chunk boundaries. The 2 block grid on the chunk boundary overlay, I should say. That's the most accurate way of saying it, I believe. Yeah. Mildly OCD. Not too bad. Going to check out a build, I'm assuming, or something that's going on. The other thing that the people in voice chat are talking about right now. Potentially. Unless they've started watching Star Trek. part of the reason I'm filling in the floor is because I want to be able to see when all of the slimes, make sure that they're all here, able to be here still. All at the level that I can see them, and they can't go hiding in the floor, especially the smaller ones. And then whenever we do find a chunk that they are in, I dig a boundary around the chunk. A 2-block deep boundary so that they can't jump out. And I don't know how large we want to try to make this slime farm either. So, hey Apple, welcome to the stream. How are you doing tonight? Early morning, whichever you prefer to call it for where you're at. But I am doing fairly well. So, yeah. Good to hear you're doing all right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, well, the only thing is, Wild, I am working on the slime farm, but finding them, like, it partly depends on whether or not they're here. How is the job? The job has been the same pretty much. This weekend is the weekend I changed my work schedule, so I have a 4-day work week instead of a 3-day work week. And then I shift over from working Saturdays. So essentially, this time my work week starts Saturday morning and ends Tuesday afternoon. So, it's fine. It's fine having a longer work week. It means I mean, at least I have a work week instead of a split week. So, a solid work week instead of a split week. So, compare it to what I was working last year, this is better. Nope, no Instamine here. Don't have a beacon yet, so yeah, if I had a beacon, then that would be a lot faster. But do not have that luxury at this point. Unfortunately. Yeah. So, essentially, thank you for reminding of the water. Yeah, this is not the slime farm. This is finding the slime chunk without using a program to find slime chunks on its own, using based off of the seed and world gen code. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm finding the manual way before I knew it was able to be predicted. The way I did it before I knew it was able to be predicted by using a program to analyze the seed of the world. So yeah. Now there is pretty much a 99.8% chance or what, like it's an extremely high chance that one of these chunks that I have cleared out already is a slime chunk. It's just waiting for a slime to spawn in it. Well, that's fine, Apple. If you're tired enough to fall asleep, then you should probably be sleeping. So, thank you for the unintentional work, though. How close am I to affiliate? Well, last I checked, my average viewer count, which is the only thing I have left to get up, is at like 2.12, I think. So I'm over the 2 average viewers threshold. I just need to work that all the way up to 3, and as long as it tips over 3 for a day, then then I'll be able to get the affiliate. So then I have to do a little bit more paperwork, I believe, some agreements probably, or more than likely financial stuff with Twitch, and then that would be the point where I would get affiliate. You're watching a horror game? Or you were watching a horror game? Oh. Yeah, I stay away from that genre about as much as I possibly can, so I'll tune into a couple of my streamers who I watch whenever they play, just for a little bit, maybe 15-30 minutes at the most. It does depend on what kind it is. So yeah. Yeah. If it's just stuff where it's like a combination of jump scares and stuff, then I'm like, I can deal with that. Thank you for the follow, RT. Welcome to the stream. Welcome. Yeah, but if it's a horror game or something like that where it's just like straight up creepy and that's the only thing that's making it qualified as that, then I'm like, then I am like, nope. Don't wanna fill my head with that. So yeah. Like the things that I can potentially see at work, I'm like, no, I'm good. I'll leave it with the out of normal chance that, with the off chance that I'll be able to, that I'll accidentally, not accidentally, but unfortunately have to come across something at work. Well, that would mean you sent the most chat messages, I believe, if I remember how I set that up right. Mm-hmm. How does that mean? Mean? Like being mean? It's because it's a family-friendly stream. That's why you can't make illicit comments. Oh, definition? That stuff that is sexually suggestive. That's what that means. Yep. Mm-hmm. You're fine. You're fine. Mean also means average. That's another meaning that mean can have, is average. That word has so many different meanings. A synonym for definition. Any ideas out there from anyone else? A synonym for definition. I mean, from the point that I come from with it, I think the meaning of definition could be value, because whenever I say, like in my classes or whatever, whenever I'm defining a variable, I'm giving that variable a value. So clarifying, yeah. Yep, I do my best. There are moments where there are real talk moments, but as far as language and stuff, keeping it to the clean. So yeah. All right. Remember, if we see any slimes or see it pop up in the lower right of the screen, let me know if I miss things. I can be missing things again. Oh, got it. All right, thank you, Gummy. Thank you. There we go. Okay, wait. There. Clicking on things and things are doing things. If you God exists and you are 100% sure. Why do other people have other religions or believe in other religions which are not yours? That goes back to ancient world history. Honestly, if you really want to go way back, but I don't want to go down that rabbit hole tonight. So I know I have in the past, but I do not feel like going down that one tonight. So what's the command to force a player into another server? Is there a command that can do that? Just an arbitrary example to force K into another server. Sure. Just as an example. I figure it's up to some form of a shenanigan somewhere somehow. I'm just reading it and laughing. So do you know what POG means? This is my question, because I think that we have different definitions for what POG means. Yeah. POG means playing online games. Or play of the game, I suppose. It's another one. I know when I looked it up last, it said that that one of the things was playing online games, which I'm like, okay. Yeah? There's so many different definitions for terms, but I would say POG, especially with how it is written, it looks like it's an acronym. So. Mm-hmm. But the emote got that name somehow, right? Mm-hmm. Ah. Mm-hmm. All right. We get it, Apple. Apple, we can leave Pog alone now. Okay. I think that we've come to the understand there's just a lot of different meanings of it. So, all right. See ya. See you soon. Mm-hmm. What? Hold on 1 second. Oh. Okay, I see why that did. Sometimes AutoMod pulls things out and I'm like, yeah. Try your best to keep it clean. Yeah. Yeah. AutoMod pulls stuff out and I have to look at it for like 5 minutes sometimes. I'm like, okay, why did it pull that? And then I see, then I something clicks and I'm like, oh, that's why. Yeah. You didn't know? You didn't know. Really? If you don't know what something means, it's typically not a good idea to use it. Or say it. At least in my experience. I've ran into issues related to that before. I would say a word. Well, not something that's a good idea to say, so. I didn't know what it meant, but I also didn't do my research to figure out what it meant before I used it. So. Yep. It's exactly how I've gotten in trouble before. Like, I did not mean to insult you. Sorry. Very sorry. Ooh, favorite song. Now, I have to pull out my phone for this one. And the reason I have to is because I don't remember the names of my favorite songs. Or, like, any songs. So, I have a bad time remembering names and names of things and people most of the time. There's some names that stick really well, and then there's other ones that don't. So like that's why like movie actors, I'll talk about them, and then like with someone in a group, and then I forget all completely everything attached to their name, just gone. I'll remember their face and what movies they've been in by their face, but I'm like, you know, I just totally forget. Anyways, if we go, is my favorite? Is it in recently added? Maybe. Let's see. Under recently added, was it a recently added one? I don't know. I should probably like write this one down somewhere. That's a good one. I think right now actually is one of the newer ones. No, I have Amazon Music. Yep. Ooh, my first go around. But anyway, so for my favorite song, I should say, "The Elements" by Toby Mac. At this point, it's probably my favorite song, and I'm the person who, for context, likes the song based off of its message more than its music. So I have like a couple different categories, but all around, I like "The Elements" by Toby Mac. So, if I click on it and go to start station shop, maybe if I, that's gonna start playing it, and we can't play it because it's a copyrighted piece. I don't know what genre it is. That's another thing. I don't really think about genres. Go to album. Maybe it'd be listed under that. Toby Mac does a few different kinds of music, so a few different genres. Elements is customers also licensed too. That's not right. Nope. Jeez. What the heck is it? I have no idea. Jeez. Now this is bugging me because I don't have an answer. It was the cover of an album. I know that. It was the title song of the album. Genre. Elements by Toby Mac. And I should probably spell Toby Mac right. That's not hard to do. Okay, technically it falls under Christian and gospel, but there is another category it falls under as well, which I don't I can't think of right now. It's almost a rock kind of it's almost a rock style to it. So okay, so yeah, this is my second go around with content creation. So I started out back in 2016. So if you go to my YouTube channel, you'll see that it was in the about page, it says I started in 2016. That was whenever I started my content creation. And I was really on and off during that whole time for content creation. I was never really like set to doing it. So I had like a time frame that I wanted episodes to come out, and I want to do one a week, 30-minute episodes. But I didn't have a lot of motivation in doing it. I had the stuff that I needed to do it, but I didn't have the motivation that I have now. And I'll say I never did streaming before this year, which is now my second go around in content creation. So I went through between 2016 and December of last year. So it was like April 2017, I think. 2016 rather, sorry. It was when I started my YouTube channel. And I went through several periods of burnout between then and then December of last year. So this is me starting out again. And what I mean burnout is like I would create like a month's worth of content. So for the schedule, which I wanted, it was, 4 videos. So I would make 4 straight weeks of episodes, and then I'd be done for like 3 months, maybe even 6 months, whatever. Yeah. Nearly daily. I'm only streaming twice a week. The reason it kind of seems like it's nearly daily is because I was supposed to be streaming Thursday, so yesterday, and then tomorrow, which is Saturday for me. But something came up last night, and then something came up for tomorrow, so I ended up streaming Wednesday and Friday. The plan is still only to do 2 streams a week, though. But then add in an extra YouTube video for every week on Gentleman News Pack. Now beta pack. So, yeah. Yeah. Well, it was an interesting time. That was the first time that I had really even considered doing it. It was kind of a spur of the moment thing, doing content creation. You can't be asked to continue your YouTube channel. Really? Okay. But yeah. So I did like tiny little custom mod packs because the computer I was using couldn't run like anything as far as mods. It could, but there's no way I would be able to record, so rendering a video plus doing. You aren't dead. You're still typing in chat. But rendering and recording, doing all of that on that computer wasn't that great. I had to transfer the video via flash drive to another computer in order to even be able to edit what I just recorded. So that was another thing. So yeah. But right now I have it set up where I can do all my streaming, recording, editing, all from this computer, this laptop that I'm on right now. So, yeah. It was, and that's probably part of the reason that extra, half an hour that I had to dedicate, that I was just like taking up time on the computer, transferring files. Bits. Now I'm going pretty strong. I'm doing pretty well with the little spurt I'm on. So, yep. I think that this already is longer than my first go around with doing content creation. As far as me being consistent, streaming at least, I think I've streamed, aside from whenever I was in Missouri, streaming twice a week, all the time. So yeah, pretty good. And then I was just able to get back into YouTube. So now that one of my classes is finished, and then I also have more stuff to record for YouTube that I didn't really want to do in streams. So yeah. Yeah, there's shinies, but there's other shinies. There's too many shinies, Wild. Honestly. Hello. I like the skin. um, yeah, it went through. Yeah, there's just too many diamonds there. I have too many. I have a full inventory. I can't pick up more. Welcome to the server, Wild. Well, survival again. Looks like cavemen socializing. I don't think it's quite like that. Yes, I know that there are diamonds. There are diamonds elsewhere too. I have too many diamonds. That and it, yeah. I mean, I can mine all of the diamonds and then like send like RT like crazy because he'll get like a notification saying how many diamonds I'm mining and so quickly. What does no mean? What does this shaking of the head mean? I mean, I can mine the diamonds if I empty my inventory a little bit. Hey. Hey, Wild. New skin I see as well. Yeah, there's a lot of stone here. You know what? I just got an idea. Give me 1 second. I just got a way, or found a way of, or thought of a way of eliminating some items on the ground right now. Is that what the no's were? Lag? But we can. We should probably be a little bit more considerate with the lag issues that can happen. What are you doing, Wild? Oh. Give me 1 second. Video settings. Okay. There's someone invisible. Or not invisible, just trapped. Now I get it. You can't mine through bedrock there. It's too much fun. It was fun. It was too much fun, though. Actually, is that such a thing? For consensus, is there such a thing as too much fun? That's a very important question. Everything can be overdone. I would say I'm in agreement with that. I know other players can work here. I want other players to be able to work here. I love how that thing pops up and says that. It's like, other players can work here too. I'm like, yeah. Yeah, let it be so. I have like my like valuable chests in my base protected, but down here it doesn't matter. Thank you for the help, Gummy. The top can stay there, but more diamonds. I'm out of building blocks. I have too many ores in my inventory. I'm out of building blocks. It's a sad world we live in. Continue mining out the chunks as we go. Gradually making it larger to eventually make slime. Slime farm's a thing. Oh. We are having too much fun. Significantly too much fun. Gummy. You hit me and now I can't mine some things. This is spleef now. Almost. I could use TNT, but that would make it less fun. Okay, Gummy. I am trying to work here. I think it's gone far enough. It's fun, yes, but there is a point. I always think someone is flying when I hear the rocket. But then I'm like, wait, this is a 2-block. I see. I see the head. Now I see it, that is. Now, was this accidentally given to me or purposeful? B-Dub's trolling with the block placing. Yeah, I think it remembers something to do with that. And being a B-Dub's thing. Oh, there was the bed thing. Yes. B-Dubs and his sleep. And people preventing his sleep. Yep. Yep. I will say I have spent a long time mining in Minecraft. It is definitely the thing I do the most of anything else. Certainly is mining.
Well, yeah, I think ultimately, I think that's because I know with talking with Lloyd, I think the girls' ministry stuff is because they really have no leadership per se,
And my dad is in a
and the
meeting
thing is,
talking
as
on the
the
phone
ministry goes,
in the room right across from the hall.
Ranger,
Or in the room right across the hall from me.
and just like years ago when we didn't
So
have
if you
much
hear
ministry,
loud talking, it is my dad on a
we had
phone
more
call.
stuff
So,
for us to do, you know.
yep.
And when I talked with Lloyd, I said they have like no structure in their leadership. I mean, we have
Talking
all
about
this
leadership structures. Wonderful.
we have all this leadership structure, and we have
Uh, I will say,
and
from my
sometimes
experience,
I don't want to ask
personal
Lloyd about.
experience,
And my wife
uh,
brings this up.
having a good
Can you
leadership
turn
structure
things over
to a
to Lloyd
system
to help with things?
is like one of the most important things to it functioning well, to a group. If there is not a good leadership structure, it will fall apart, and I have seen organizations fall apart because of it. So, yep, because of a lack of a good leadership structure. Hmm. Nothing yet. Close, but not quite close enough. We'll eventually get there to where we find one slime, then we make a mega overproductive slime farm from it. Lower the sub chunks, all of that fancy jazz. That's what we're gonna do. Probably. We'll see. I may not. Never know. But who knows how long that will be as well before we get there. Mm. What was that? My phone vibrated. It looks like someone else went live. Yes, someone else went live. Who did? Let's see. Ah, fun. My inventory is full again, but die right. Gotta burn it, right? We don't have to burn it. We're not Iskal, but I almost threw away my golden helmet because I'm wearing a cat head right now. I think I missed, which is a good thing because I had dirt in there that I should keep. There we go. Guess I don't technically need to put the fire out because fire tick will put it out eventually. Just got a notification on my phone that things will be interesting, potentially, very much so. Yes, I am checking my phone during class. Maybe I shouldn't do that. That's not very professional, is it? Put my phone over there. The only reason I need it with me is in case I get a phone call. So. Because I do answer phone calls. I answer phone calls in the middle of the night. It's bad. It happens. Unfortunately, it happens. Normally whenever someone doesn't show up to work. Not me, but someone else doesn't show up to work. Or decides to schedule me for a shift that I'm like, I wasn't scheduled for that when I checked it yesterday. Yeah. Water? As I see that come up, I look down at my glass on the desk in front of me and it's empty. So that means we'll have a short break whenever I finish with this chunk. Fortunately, it doesn't take super long. This is a ravine. Wild is AFK. That's some valuable information, actually. Wild being AFK. Because whenever people are AFK, it's easier to prank them. Fun fact. But it's even easier to prank their base whenever they're not online at all. Fortunately, I'm not much of someone for pranking, so... Wild's face is now black instead of the white one? Did she just change her... Wild, did you change your skin again? Wait, but wouldn't you have to log out and then log back in order for your skin change to take effect? I'm confused. Mildly confused. But when am I not? I know other players can build here. I am well aware that other players can build there. I'm fine with other players being able to build there. That is where my house is. This is where my house is at. You can tell because it has just made them phantom gold blocks that aren't really gold blocks. I'm going to eat. I should probably not sit down here while... Have I come to this ravine previously, or is that from someone else? It is possible that that is either me or someone else. I do not recall. Okay, anyways. We're going on break, so there we go. And I will be back at some soon time. I just need to go get some water, and I'll stretch while I'm at it. So, yeah. I am not ending the stream, Apple. I am taking a break. Everything is fine. Have a good night, Gummy. Thank you for coming by. I'm sitting here. I have to take care of some messages that I got while I was streaming, but we're about to be back in the game. All right. This thing. Add new. Yes. Yes. Okay. There we go. Okay, that's taken care of. We're good to come back now, so pull up the game again. There we go. All right, we're back again. Let's go in here. Sleep, since I'm up here already. Go ahead, grab torches. I'm assuming they're still just talking about... Oh, sorry to hear, Gummy, that Jay's having a bad night. Hope that the night gets better, though, as it goes on. Even if that may not be likely. Alright. Dirt, granite, diorite, andesite. Andesite. I called it andesite. What's new in the world? That is a rhetorical question. I mean, if you want to answer it, you can, but there's a lot of new things in the world. So, trying to cover all of them in one broad stroke is probably impractical. So. More ravine. Wild left. No. I'm alone again. But that's fine. That means that there's no shenanigans that can happen. Well, actually, that's not true. Why did I say that? That is totally not the case, actually. Oops. Could be asking for trouble with that one. Suppose instead of using flint and steel, I could have just thrown all those items into the lava that's already down here. I have a feeling that that was from me. But it's also possible that it was not from me. I don't think we're close enough to Wild's base for it to be hers or anything from someone who's over there. I think it's probably from me. Pong works? What? Did Scoop make Pong? Wild said to ignore them, so I probably should. I will catch up with them after the stream, I think. Assuming that they're still online. Oh, I was mining with the wrong pick. Not necessarily the wrong pick, but... Figure out how to target the plant. I would not at all be surprised if there's going to be a it's alive moment. If that hasn't already happened. Just saying. Console commands. My favorite. Definitely not actually true. Console commands are hard. I bet you those were from me. All this out here. Yeah. I just realized something. On modded, I know we're on vanilla right now, but on mod, my nether portal hookup is completely gone. Totally not distracted right now. No, this probably was not me, because I normally leave torches everywhere I go whenever I'm exploring. I don't think this was me, because I wouldn't have had that much netherrack at the early point where I would be running into issues with lighting materials. Is it a bad thing that I've analyzed my playstyle enough to know that? Or is that fine? Is that normal? I'm not sure. More lava, which I already knew was going to be there, but whatever. Man, I'm kind of a little bit odded right now. Like, bummed, maybe, I guess. Because, like, going from, like, around noon to, like, 4, my subconscious was, like, really active. Like, it was, like, so much so that it was starting to run into my head as far as, like, what I was actually, like, thinking about. Like, the main part of my brain. I'm like, what I mean by that is, like, whenever I have, like, a nagging question that I have, that goes into my subconscious, and I just think about it for literally however long until I either come to an answer or it just somehow gets thrown off track and I lose that train of subconscious thought. Mike, it's like that little thing in the back of my head that is like running all the time, where if someone says something and I start thinking about it, and then I like keep thinking about it, and you can't get away from it, you know, from thinking about it. It's not necessarily a bad thing. There's normally something kind of boiling, simmering, whatever on it, you know? But, yeah, it started again. It's not as bad as it was earlier, though. The thing is, it's like... that's like the rabbit trail portion of my brain. If you know what I mean with that. It's like, if I say something that sounds like it's completely out of left field, and we've been in a conversation for like an hour, that thing that I said is probably from something that we were talking about an hour ago that had been sitting in the back of my mind working away at coming up with either an opinion or idea, whatever, on it. And then all of a sudden it comes up and just pops into my brain and immediately is like, say this, and then it gets said. I'm like, but that's like totally out of the blue and something which we totally were not talking about right now. Something like that. That's what happens. That's where all my rabbit trails come from, pretty much. It's like either a conversation somewhere between 6 and like 6 hours and an hour ago. Like that's where all of my rabbit trails for the most part come from. Just something I was thinking about from a while ago. It does make it interesting for streams, though, because that means that something will happen at the beginning of stream, and then I'll just start talking about it, like, again, like it just happened, like, near the end of the stream. Which, depending on how things go, the end of the stream is still an hour and a half away, so... Hey, Gnu, welcome to the stream. How are you doing tonight? I hope you're doing all right. Tonight, this afternoon, right? Tonight for me, afternoon for you. So, time zones. Just afternoon. Okay. Yep. Hold on. Remember, do the nice thing. Burn the items. Don't just throw them out on the ground. Actually dispose of them. I may or may not have gotten some bad habits at some point. Ah! I threw him right onto the corner of a block. Wow. Dark corner. Now that the fire's out. It's dark. Light up. I wonder if we've gotten any slimes to spawn in the far reaches of this yet. Or if we still need to keep going. I mean, I haven't made it large enough to where it's out of render distance yet. So it's clearly too small still, but... Actually, is it? Hold on. Can we go all the way over to this corner? Welcome back, man. Welcome. I hope you're doing well tonight. This afternoon, evening, whichever it is for you. And welcome to the stream. Yeah, we're on the tipping point of render distance. On the tipping point where if you look straight at it, you can't, but if you look at it at the corner of your eye, you can. Still no slimes, though. That's amazing. There are a lot of caves still, though, I think. So that could easily be part of the problem. And maybe, just maybe, I should use the right pickaxe. Use a silk touch one instead of the fortune one. Though technically it doesn't matter, because they're still both pickaxes that have the same efficiency level. Investing in a beacon would be a good idea, though. We'll say that much. Boom. All right. Food. Food is good. Food is a good thing. And I know I chose the gold. I went the golden carrot route on the food. I could probably should mix it up a little bit because I do have pork because I've been in the nether so much that there's I've had to defend myself from a handful of hoglins, so it's contributed to the leather stockpile and the stockpile of, if my brain will work, of pork. So yeah. This method of finding slime chunks was first figured out by me. I mean, I was not the first one to figure it out, I'm sure, but I first realized it worked I was working on a base building project that never even came halfway, like, close to fruition of, like, its planning stage. I mined out a giant area of chunks like this in this same kind of style, but 3 blocks tall for a base building project I wanted to do, kind of like a bunker, really large bunker. I think I got it to be like 12 by 12 chunks. There were so many slime chunks in there. And I just accidentally found them because, of course, I'm just mining, and then all of a sudden I see slime start popping in. I'm like, there's slime chunks there? Wonderful. Anyways, that's what we're trying to replicate here. Because I am somewhat against the taking a seed, throwing it in the... I actually don't know if I have this seed for this surf. If I have access to that seed or not. But I prefer doing it this way instead of using a computational tool to calculate and tell me exactly where the nearest slime chunk to my base is, you know. And also where there's different groupings and whatever. I much prefer doing it by hand. Because it's more interesting. It's not so much like it's a cheat code to the game. Even though it's programmed into the game in a literal sense. For there to be constant generation, that's how you get your seeds. That's why they let you see the seeds. But, yeah. I mean, you can technically tell from the region files, too. If you really want it to, I think you can do that. But, again, I would rather do it the old way. Is this really the old-fashioned... Is this really the old-school way, or is this just the random, inefficient way that I figured out on my own? That's the real question. Is I can't point to a time where I've seen someone find slime chunks this way, but I'm sure that other people have. Hold on, I was mining one block over. Oops. Oh, there's a hole in the floor. I'll patch that up later. Just like, oh, there's a hole. I can patch it. It'll be fine. It's like a bug. I'll patch it, but it's not a bug because it's much easier to patch than a bug. Yeah, I think that was a moment of my subconscious kicking in and just throwing something out there. One of those moments. What would that be called in a computer context? Parallel processing unit, probably. Or it's like, it's not the primary, but it's it still's there, just processing things in a different way. Do 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 do. This is like against my nature to throw blocks into a fire and burn them. How can I be so wasteful? Somehow. The only reason I'm doing that actually is because lag on the server. I don't want to be the cause of that much potential lag, even though I'm the only one on this server at the moment. Never know whenever someone's going to log in, and it's always best to be on the courteous side. So That's a tip for life, by the way. It's best to be on the courteous side. It's excellent, actually. It's probably one of the best things you can do as far as career field, whatever. If you want to get a job, it's good to be able to be courteous to people, because you never know what's gonna or how it's gonna factor into you getting a job eventually. Or if you already have a job, keeping that job. Not getting any customer service complaints against you, if possible. Or just complaints in general. I know that's actually how I got my first job. My first job was actually as a custodian at my church. And the reason I got it was because I was just always around, always helping out. And then the maintenance director was like, "Hey, we're looking for a new custodian. Do you want to have a job?" And I was like, "Sure. I already know my way around." So yeah, it's like, cool. First job. Now to get a car. Yep. That way I could drive myself in. Well, really, it was to get my driver's license first. That was the first goal. I think I had already been driving. Had I been? No, hold on. Hired at 15 because non-for-profits can hire a year earlier than other companies. And then so yeah, no, it would have been that. So I was hired in the summer, literally the weekend after my birthday. And then I just turned 15, but I then was yeah, and then that fall I took driver's ed, so I learned how to drive. That was fun times. And then I got my driver's license the next summer after I turned 16 and could legally get my driver's license. So, yeah. I had my driver's permit right after I turned 15, then I had my driver's license. After I turned 16 and got home from Spain, because I turned 16 in Spain. Those are fun times. It's like, oh, one of the people I was with had a birthday the day, I think it was either the day before or the day after mine. So it's like, cool. The only two people who have a birthday on this trip are me and this other person who is right next to me in the month. So we had 2 days that were birthdays, essentially. Pretty interesting how that worked out. That was fun, though. I really enjoyed that trip. It was a missions trip, so got to go work on a building. Yeah, well, that wasn't all that we did, but that was part of it. So I will say that after doing that there, I'm like, okay, really happy that my dad made sure I knew how to use tools properly. Because, yeah, there were people there who did not, they weren't the best, the most proficient at using tools for building, construction tools and stuff. Not like machinery, just like hammering things and, you know, stuff like that. It's like, you don't, you've never used a hammer before. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you've never used a hammer before? Okay. Good to know. Yeah. It's amazing how nowadays there's such the lack of people getting taught how to just do things that I've always considered to be pretty standard. Like, yeah, like, who doesn't know how to build a addition to their house? I mean, no, I've never built an addition to a house before, but like, who doesn't know how to use a circular saw or a skill saw, you know, whatever hand tool it is? I always thought that that was kind of a normal thing. Like, everyone has one, right? But no. My bubble got burst. I was surprised. I was like, this is why trades make so much money. It's because there's people out there who just have no clue what they're doing. So, being part of a guild or something gets you that, you know, make sure that you know what you're doing. And that's why people will hire for projects, big companies, whatever, will hire out of guilds and that, because one, there's like not many people who aren't a part of the guild, but two, they know that if you were a part, or if you got to be part of the guild or the union, whichever they call it, there are some legal differences between guilds and unions, but for the point of it is a labor organization of some kind that can get you, as a skilled tradesman, a reputation. They're fairly similar from the point of helping you get a job. So, yeah. Oh, I did not mean to put that torch there. Just lost the torch to the lava. Rip torch. Yeah. I remember when I was in high school, secondary education, for those of you not in the U.S., or in a country that has a similar education system to the U.S., it'd be called secondary education. I was getting pushed to go into college, like, really hard. Like, they wanted you to go to college. Like, they made it sound like you couldn't get a job without going to college. But then I looked at stuff myself, and I was like, I could go into electrical engineering as a trade without ever stepping foot on a college campus, and after 4 years get paid more than a decent portion of college graduates. You know, 4 years of being in the trade. Now, granted, I wouldn't necessarily be able to go anywhere other than, like, say, if I was electrician, I could go into general construction probably if for some reason electrical didn't work out. But it's like, you know, it's not as important as it's frequently made out to be to go to college. So if any of you are in that point right now where you're like, well, a lot of people are saying I need to go to college to get a good job, you know, to be able to sustain myself. Not really. And going to college doesn't mean you're going to have a job whenever you graduate. There's plenty of people who I've known of who went to college for 4 years, graduated, and ended up working at a McDonald's flipping burgers for the next 10 years of their life. Like, it's not. Now, part of that is probably from lack of motivation, but not necessarily always. It's not necessarily always the case. Either they couldn't hold another job or whatever. So, just going to college and getting your degree isn't going. You still have to do work. You still have to put effort into getting and holding a job. It's not a magic erase or not. What am I thinking? I'm trying to think of a word. It's not a magic wand where it's like, I went to college. Here's my degree, and now I need a job. And it's like, no, they don't have to hire you. You don't have to get hired on just because you have a degree. That's why getting little jobs while you're in school, in high school even, can help a lot because you're able to actually go and be able to do things. One, you're able to get yourself a little bit of money before you actually, while you're still young, which is great. If you get enough to open a bank account and, savings and that, go and learn how to budget your own money while you're young, still hopefully able to be living with your parents, or if not, then some guardian, someone who can look after you a little bit. So it's always good because once you leave the house, once you grow up, leave the house, the training wheels are off. I'm saying that as someone who still lives at home, but the reason I do is because it's $10,000 cheaper a year to live at home than to live at my college. So that's the reason why. So, yeah. But as far as my car goes, my transportation and everything, that's me. For the most part. My dad helps out a little bit with the maintenance stuff. But, yeah. I wonder if they turn down the rate of the slime chunks. Because I'm not seeing any slime spawning. And the spawning rules for the two smaller variants of slimes say that they should be able to spawn in the space that I have out here. Assuming that there's a slime chunk. So I see a blue dot. That typically means there was a change. Ooh! Hi, lava. I just barely missed you. That's like whenever you're golfing and or like putt golf, whatever. I mean, it happens in normal golf too. I just have only played one round of that. 3 holes, really, not even a full round of golf. But like whenever you're like putting and it goes like right along the edge of the hole, and like it's like kind of like rolling in, so like the it banks, but it doesn't go in. It's like it's been robbed, but in that case, the only thing that was robbed was the lava. Its supper was robbed from it because I decided I didn't want to get burned. So there's one thing which I thought would be interesting, and that is if in Minecraft you could set your character to have the same height as you do in real life. I thought that would be interesting. I know you technically can do that with certain plugins. I think it can actually be done with plugins. You don't necessarily need mods. But yeah. Mods just give you a lot more flexibility. Like potentially the ability to edit signs. Because the signs in Minecraft are coded in such a way that it actually makes it... I don't know if they did it intentionally or not. I'm not going to try to say what, whether or not they did intentionally. But where it's actually, at least according to Exuma, impossible to get the to be able to change the text on the sign without a mod. Like, there's no way that you can make a data pack that can do it. Just plain and simple. It's just a code. The code makes it impossible. Because I remember he was talking about data packs at one point, and he was like, "Yeah, well, we looked at that, but it didn't it wouldn't work." Unfortunately, I don't know if Minecraft does that on purpose, Mojang, but I mean, to an extent, there's just things that you're like, well, maybe that'd be a nice feature, maybe it wouldn't be. Are we going to take the time to code it in? Answer, no. So there is some of that deliberation process. Like whenever I decide I want to call a homework assignment done, I'm like, well, how much higher of a grade am I going to get from this homework assignment if I spend another hour on it, even though I feel like I already have it all correct. Or maybe there's a couple things I think aren't correct on it, but I'm like, well, it's due now, or I could wait and request an extension for the homework and then potentially be able to turn it in late but have more of it done. But then how much of that's going to be correct, and is that going to be able to counteract the loss of points from the homework extension request? It's called having Pareto optimizations, right? Essentially, a Pareto optimal point is a point within the design space, or the area of different factors which you're considering, where the outcomes, if say there was, I mean, you will not get this at all, probably, unless you can relate this to a personal experience that you've had. But there was this playful humor in class. My economics professor, another student in the class, would always like pretend that if one of them was happy that the other one wasn't, right? So he was like, all right, so if this one student's when he was explaining the Pareto front test, he's like, all right, so if this one student's happiness is inversely related to my happiness, then I am going, or then if, all right, let me think through this example again. It's been a year. So what happens is once you reach is that there's this Pareto front occurs along a, and it's a parabola in this case, in the case that he gave. It was graphed as a parabola, right? So on one axis you have the professor's happiness level, on the other axis you have the student's happiness level, right? And it was as the so essentially as the professor's level gets up or increases, the student's decreases. Okay, of course this is just a very specific example that actually did not relate to how people felt about the class. I think most of us enjoyed it fairly well, but the idea is along that parabola that it wasn't parabola, it would have been it wasn't a parabola, was it? What function would a negative log function? That's what it was. Essentially, technically, I think it was a hyperbola, I think, but whatever. The graph that kind of looks like a parabola, but I'm pretty sure it was a log. So, a log function. But at any rate, we had the so it was any point along that front, along that parabola, whatever you want to call it, the parabolic shape. There we go. That's a mutually agreeable term, I believe. Was Pareto optimal. In other words, someone, and what that means, Pareto optimal, is if one output becomes better, at least one other output must become worse, rather. So a point, say, between that and the x and y axes would be considered, or between that parabola and the x or y axis would be considered to not be Pareto optimal, because neither party would have the maximum, or there would be extra happiness that could go around, is what I mean by it, but is what that means. So you would have that, but then you're, geez, this is so not well put together in my head. Okay, any point along that is Pareto optimal, which means that if one person or one outcome is better, one part of the total outcome can be made better or is made better, then another part of the total outcome must be made less preferable. So essentially it's the point where you get to, well, if we increase the cost of the part, then there will be fewer people who will buy it because it'll be more expensive. We'll have to sell it at a higher price. But the creeper, creeper threw me off. Anyways, Where did he come from? Is there spawnable space in the ceiling somewhere? Potentially. Anyway, so that's economics. That's part of it. The part which I've used the most, probably, actually. And you can get that, too, with the amount of time that you spend studying. Say, if you say that you have 24 hours, if you study, work on schoolwork for 24 hours, your, like, output for, like, your grade is actually going to start going down, right? There's a point where you can spend, say, the difference between, like, 12 hours of homework and 14 hours on homework a day. It's like, at that point, you're probably not getting that much of a better grade on your homework by spending that extra 4 hours. But an even better example is whenever you go to, like, 16 to 18 hours. That 2 hours period, you're not really getting much of a higher grade for that extra 2 hour period, because at that point, one, you've hopefully already been able to finish all your assignments. Like, get through the first pass on them at least. So, anyways, yeah, that's all about optimization and stuff. But then, you know, of course, you start suffering from sleep deprivation and that, which is going to make your grade go down because you're not going to be able to stay awake to work on your homework at some point. Your body's just going to be like, nope, goodbye. I may or may not have gotten fairly close to that point at one point in time. I have. Very much so. Let's throw this stuff in the chests, shall we? We have too many ores. We have way too many ores. Anyway, guys, it's been a lot of fun today. We're not quite done. We're going to go over to the Halloween area. Not 30-30. We're not there yet. 2020. Oh. There we go. Scary 2020. So, Scary 2020 is this place where we have had the Halloween build competition builds made. And at this point, I believe the plots are locked. You can't build anymore. So we're just going to look at them from the outside. I'm not going to go in any until the judging's finished. But we are going to wear this so I don't get attacked. Unfortunately, Gummy's head that she gave us probably won't protect us from getting attacked by pig people. This is actually Gummy's build. So speaking of Gummy, this is Gummy's build. It looks pretty cool. Nice aesthetic build. Looks like there's some armor stands. Awesome. Armor stands. Those aren't armor stands. Those are just heads on chains. Then there's the pumpkin wither on the inside, I believe. Up here is Scoob's build. If I can climb, that would be beautiful. Thank you. Like, if I can somehow figure out how to climb, that'd be wonderful right now. I don't know how many people were actually able to finish, but it is a honey pumpkin, apparently, with a candle in it. Cool. It's supposed to look like a jack-o'-lantern, I know. I think that he is winning, though, in the largest pumpkin contest. I think the only two entrants were him and Gummy. So, this is the mouse, which is K Splash. So I'm like 100% certain that it's K-Splash, actually. Yes, this is K's build. I don't think this one came to fruition, unfortunately. Yeah, there were some factors that went into a few people starting their builds rather late, unfortunately. So and then this is Bill's. So awesome. This looks really good. I like how the andesite fence post walls look with the acacia wood. This is an AFK farm that was built to take advantage, presumably, of people being in this area for a lot of hours. Wild's build is a maze. I'm not going to go through it because I know the way out. But this was a fun project to work on and to help out with. So I thought that was massive. This is my build for anyone who is on FooCraft, who is potentially watching right now. This is something which you can actually go into. There are... so here are the rules, right? There's 2 rules, or 1 rule, really. So you may take 1 item from barrels which you may find. Please don't break blocks. You may become part of the mine. So I'll just walk through it. This is actually something that I built on stream for the most part. There was a little bit of touch-up work that I did. I changed some of the prize pools around. We have one guy here. Kind of had a cave-in happen. Kind of had a little bit of a cave-in go on there. Over here you have your little area for people to have stuff set up. You know, just a little staging area. Another person over there who got crushed. You know, not the greatest thing ever. Over here, there's this dude who's mining. Cool. These are the heads that I could find that look the best for this build. I bought them from Gummy's shop. But essentially, this build was supposed to look like what I would think a mine shaft in the Nether would look like. There's definitely probably a lot more stuff, a lot more valuables in here than what would originally, or like if it was actually added into the game. There probably wouldn't be that many valuable items in there, nor the custom armor stands probably. But it was pretty fun to work on that, get that built. Anyways, I'm just coming this way to do my due diligence to make sure I'm not missing any build plots or anything that was built, and apparently nothing else. So that's it for the little short tour of the area, the build competition area. So we're gonna come here, stand by this dude who's got his pickaxe right there, just, you know, hanging out. Got his lantern over there. We are going to sign out here, and we're going to join the Felds of the Miner. So, yep, we're going to end the stream. I know it is a sad thing that has to happen, unfortunately, but it is happening. So anyways, so thank you all for coming and joining. If you want to see more, if you're interested, then please feel free to leave a follow. If you do not want to have me read out your name, you can follow after the stream ends. I'm all good with that. And then also !Discord if you want to come hang out with me on Discord and get an extra notification every time you go live. Then also having a YouTube channel that I have recently started going back into. !YouTube can be used for that as well. Anyways, we're now going to find someone to raid. and it should be possible. So we have a couple people. So I think I'm going to rage Assassin at the moment. I'm going to rage Assassin. So we go. Now, I do not know what this game is that he's playing. It's Teardown, but Jassassin tends to be a pretty cool streamer to watch. I've watched a few of his streams. They're pretty chill for the most part. So we're going to go do a little raid. And please join me over there watching Jassassin, because I think it's going to be fun. Anyways, have a great weekend, everybody. I hope to be seeing you all next week. So, stay safe over the weekend. I know it's Halloween, but just be careful. At least, even if you're not going to stay safe as far as the COVID's concerned, at least be aware of what you're ready to get yourself into. So, anyways, stay safe, stay sober, make good choices. Have a great weekend.